Welcome to the Oshawa Community Museum podcast with your host, Melissa Cole.
During the mid-1800s, Victorian housewives with middle to upper class background were expected to function as a manager of the home and family. The interior of her home was to be a showcase for all of her best handiworks, style, and taste. It was during this time that the tradition of making art from human hair became popular as a form of elegant memorial for family and friends. Hair was used in a variety of mediums, including many types of jewelry and household ornaments. Hairwork jewelry grew out of a desire to keep a part of the loved one close to the wearer. Goody's Lady's Book from December 1850 introduced the craft to women, which soon became a popular pastime. One of the household decorations made with hair was known as a hair wreath. A hair wreath was a wall-mounted wreath that is typically horseshoe-shaped. Using wire and hair from the heads of family, friends, church or school, housewives would weave human hair into floral patterns, loops, and braids. The purpose of making such a wreath could be used for tracking family history or as a token of affection, but it was most predominantly used in keeping with Victorian mourning practices. Once a person had passed away, a piece of hair was seen as a permanent and lasting piece of their body to be cherished and remembered. The Goody's Lady's Book from May of 1855 describes hair as such. Hair is at once the most delicate and lasting of our materials, and survives us, like love. It is so light, so gentle, so escaping from the idea of death, that with a lock of hair belonging to a child or friend, we may almost look up to heaven and compare notes. With the angelic nature may almost say, I have a piece of thee here, not unworthy of thy being now. Most Victorian women had the custom of brushing their hair daily. Strands of hair would be removed from the brush and saved in a small box called a hair receiver. The strands of family members would be used to create hair wreaths. As an extension of this custom, the hair from a deceased member of the family would be kept as well. So how were these wreaths made? The hair would be formed using wire into a shape, usually a flower, and added to the wreath. The top was not connected and remained open to symbolize the ascent heavenward, or the horseshoe shape could be seen as a symbol of good luck as well. Usually the hair in the center of the wreath belonged to the most recently deceased family member. It would remain until another family member died, and then be pushed aside to make room for the hair of the newly deceased. Some more elaborate hair wreaths would even incorporate photos, beads, and colored thread. When finished, the wreath would be placed into a shadow box frame and displayed in the home. While it was not used exclusively for mourning, hair art was also a natural way just to remember a loved one. The Oshawa Community Museum has two different hair wreaths currently on display. The first of the two hangs in the parlor of Henry House. It is a large horseshoe-shaped wreath with varying colors of hair wrapped into floral shapes, some of which may have been dyed. Many visitors to our museum are quickly drawn to this wreath, as it is so ornate, beautiful, and large. Some visitors are intrigued by the fact that it is made from hair, while some take a step back and ask again, "Human hair?" Then they quickly give a little shiver, emphasizing that this is something they probably would not have wanted to partake in. The second is a smaller horseshoe-shaped wreath. It also hangs in Henry House, but in the dining room. This wreath was donated to us in the 1980s, after being passed down through several generations. I'd like to thank you for joining me once again on this month's podcast featuring Victorian hair wreaths. And I hope you'll join me next month on our monthly podcast series. Thank you.